this day in history, 1777, the Revolutionary War Battle of Bennington, Vermont was won by American forces. Really thinking about it, the day-to-day schedule for the average American was pretty intense back then. Fast forward to today. At the supermarket, I held a jar of peanut butter which said, may contain nuts. Imagine if survival of the fittest was still a thing. Live from Wattpad Nation, you are watching The Corner Booth. We are so happy to have you. We have a very exciting episode to bring you all about purple prose in writing, and we have a fantastic panel to actually bat these questions at you. Thank you so much for participating in the live feed. We have our panelists that are actively joined in it with you. I really wish that I see everything that you guys say, but YouTube won't actually let me write anything, unfortunately. So, but I am seeing it. If at any time you do have any questions for our panel or just a general question, don't be afraid to either use that live chat or you can use our hashtag on Twitter, TCDWatt. Without further ado, I do want to bring you over to our amazing panel, starting off with let's see, who do we have there? Our special guest, Marian Avalon, a Waddy Award winner for 2014. We're so excited that she said yes to coming on our little program, you know. But like I said, this is all about purple prose.
I'm so excited to be.
Yes, we're very excited to have you too. So this week for the high five, I asked the panel to do something called 3 Truths and a Lie. This week, what they're going to do is they've composed 4 statements, 3 true, 1 false. The rest of the panel will try to guess which one is the lie, and I think we're going to have some fun with this. I'm going to start with Miss Lindsay Lippincott.
All right. So my 3 truths and a lie are, I have foster dogs. I share a birthday with a brother who is 15 years older than me. I'm a fan of pastel colors. And I have been to 8 different countries.
I know what the lie is.
Michelle, what is it? What is it?
Lindsay is not a fan of pastel colors.
I was going to say, pastel colors does not sound right to me.
Nope.
Is that right? Did you get
it?
That's what I would have guessed. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. 8 different countries. Oh, okay, so you have a brother that's 15 years older than you, but you share the same birthday?
Yes, and we have different mothers.
Wow.
Whoa, that's so weird.
Wow.
I'm thinking about the biology behind that, and that's kind of creepy. All right, so anyways.
Yeah.
Miss Marian Avalon, your 3 truths and 1 lie.
Okay. So mine are: I am a single child. I am a Potterhead. I can speak Spanish, and I love swimming.
I'm sorry.
Or
I think she is a Potterhead. She's
I think so.
Only child. I don't know.
It's between only child and swimming for me, I think.
Yeah.
You're warm, Sarah. You're warm.
I'm warm. Okay, what do you think?
I want to say that she's not an only child.
That's what I'm leaning towards too.
Yeah.
Are you an only child? You are?
No, I'm not.
He's not.
We got it. We're 2 for 2. We're doing good, too.
That was a good one.
Miss Michelle Hayes, what do you got? 3 truths, 1 lie.
Okay. My favorite snack is popcorn. Most of my wardrobe consists of black. I'm a minimalist, and I hate coffee.
Okay, I've seen her wear black a lot.
She does not
all
hate
the time.
coffee. There is no way.
She likes coffee.
And I doubt she hates coffee. I doubt that.
Yeah.
She's a writer. All writers love coffee.
I hate coffee.
I don't know that either.
Exactly.
You don't like coffee?
I love coffee.
I don't drink coffee, but
Red Bull, Lindsay. Wait, how do you stay awake?
Yeah,
I
seriously,
have my
dude.
Thai tea.
Diet
Really?
tea. There you go.
That actually does it for you?
Yeah.
I get tired when I drink tea.
Michelle, what was your first one? Oh, popcorn. You know what? I don't think Michelle likes popcorn.
I would say
That's not her favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds so arbitrary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So that's what you think the lie is?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
My lie is I hate coffee. I love coffee.
Oh,
What?
I love coffee.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so yeah, you were right.
My
about
favorite
that.
snack is popcorn.
Oh, is it?
yeah. Thanks a lot, Michelle, for breaking our
It's not
streak.
popcorn.
All right, Sarah Benson, what do you got for us?
All right. I drove into my driver ed teacher's car.
What?
I cut my own hair. I've seen a grizzly bear in the wild, and I want to go skydiving. All right.
See, now I have cut my own hair, so that's believable.
Yeah, I mean, all girls do that once, I say, in their lives.
I cut gum out of my hair.
I
That's
feel
about
like
as far as I'll
the-
go.
I feel like the car
I had to
accident
do
is
that
too
too.
extreme to
It's
not
horrendous.
be true.
I don't think you cut your own hair, Sarah.
Skydiving in the bear, actually, because bumping a driver's ed car while being completely awful can happen.
What was your third one, Sarah?
All right.
So I'd say
Oh,
the bear or the
my third one
skydiving.
is I've seen a grizzly bear in the wild. And my last one is I want to go
I'd be terrified if that
skydiving.
happened to me.
I'm gonna go with the last one.
I'd say
Okay.
the third. actually.
The third.
Yeah.
Michelle, do you have yours?
I think the lie is you cut your own hair. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
think.
think that's a lot too.
Lit.
All right. Michelle got it. It's my own hair. Yeah. I don't cut my hair.
Becky saw a bear there.
I'm like terrified to cut my own hair. I don't know what it is.
I'm with you.
I just.
I wouldn't do it either.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I meant as a kid, you know. I mean, we've all done it as kids and stuff.
Yeah, I did it when I was a kid. Just took scissors, went chop.
Yeah.
Not me. Only gum.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do for the next part of the broadcast, which is called Cream or Sugar. I'm actually being asked to move outside of the restaurant because I guess I'm being a little loud in this broadcast, and I'm sharing this restaurant with other people. So while we're doing this, Lindsay, if you can just take the Cream or Sugar shout-outs with everybody on the panel and just kind of go down the line. This is just part of the broadcast where we put you guys in the spotlight. So this is what these panelists are reading this week, and we hope it gives you some really nice stuff on your reading list. I will see you guys in a minute.
All right.
All right.
So I will start. With my Creamer of Sugar shout out, and I have Stormy Skies Bell, and it's for a collection of poems that she has, which is the entire book that she has them in is titled "The Girl Who Wants to Live No More." I read the first couple poems, and they were just I really enjoyed them. So that's what my shout out is for. So let's go to Marion.
Yeah, it's okay if I had two, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
you want them.
Yep.
So for the cream, the shout out would be definitely to Adam Collins. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's a really kind Irish writer who self-published a book called Snowden, who's already got over 134,000 reads, which is amazing. And it's basically the story of Bryn, who is what's called a pathfinder. I'm not far into it enough to know quite what that is, but it's basically royal elites. And everything is okay at first. I mean, I read the first chapter and it's kind of heartbreaking, but no spoilers. Eventually he's found guilty of murder and thrown into jail. Not good. Until the Princess Megan is taken captive, and they have to ask Bryn for help in getting her back because he has these special abilities that apparently make him the only one who can do anything. So I read the beginning of it. I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but it's really intriguing. My sugar is to use. I've already mentioned in the comments that she's more of a reader than a writer, but as it's been said before, readers are essential to writers, so I think they deserve to be acknowledged. And so the name is Nightshade22, and she's a huge supporter of anything she likes. She's also a huge TMI fan. Hey, Sarah. And she's just crazy funny, super nice, and we can talk for hours on Facebook. Before it used to be Wattpad, now it's Facebook, and it just never gets boring. So that's my shout out for the night.
All right, Michelle.
Okay, mine is a cream this week. She's a very seasoned author, and her name is Zoe Arson, and her moniker is Zay Arsonist. I think I got that right. She is the author of the Weeping Willow series. The book that I'm referring to specifically is Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. It is Inya, and it is intensely scary. It's quite popular, and rightfully so. It has climbed the charts, earning some major kudos and praise. Just a brief synopsis. McKenna Brady is a young 17-year-old girl who moves to a new town. She meets and is accepted by the popular chicks in school. They all end up playing a game that ultimately changes their lives forever. I really want to extend a bravo to this author because the plot line is unique, enthralling, and evocative. It is a full course meal in paranormal. Hope you guys check it out.
All right, and then word to Sarah.
Great. So today I have a werewolf story, and my feature is Alpha by @Reagan I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she just barely released this one, and I bought it on Amazon, and I'm totally devouring it and loving it. So, of course, it's done phenomenally well on Wattpad, and so it's no surprise that it should be so good. So just to give you a little bit more, if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, the story is about a girl named Scarlett who, as the story opens, we find out that she's had a tragic past and that her parents were murdered, but they never caught the killers. And I'm pretty sure that will come into play later in the story. But as a result, she's grown up strong and independent, and pretty much, also inheriting her parents' money. So she's always been, never really relying on anybody but herself. And so she moves to a new school and meets this guy who's attractive but super annoying. And the most annoying thing about him is he knows something about her that she doesn't know about herself. And so that's like the secret she's trying to figure out as she goes. I really like about Scarlett is she doesn't play the victim just because she's been dealt a bad hand in her life. And so anyway, the story's fast-paced and full of questions and just keeps you like going and reading one more chapter. It's really addicting and really fun read. So I totally recommend check out Alpha. And again, it's available to buy now on Amazon. So.
Thank you so much. I'm back.
All right.
I'm actually. This is kind of depressing. There's only one outlet outside the restaurant, and it's. I'm sitting on the ground right now, so hopefully there's not any ants here. That would just be like the perfect thing for this. So, anyways, like I said, we are talking about purple prose this week, and I think a lot of it is just the fact that it's a subject that all writers know. But is there really a way to avoid the trap? Sometimes we walk into it without knowing. Other times we defend the overly flowery language as an artistic choice. So let's figure out this once and for all. And we're going to start with question number 1, which is actually more of it's kind of like a challenge for this panel. Everyone has a different take on what purple prose actually is. The basic idea is similar, but there is something lost in the details. Rather than recite a definition, I'd like each panelist to turn this sentence into what you consider purple prose. And here is the sentence they worked with this week. He stepped off the elevator, knowing his future was just down the hall. And I'm going to spin this up. Michelle, what do you got for us?
I have like a novel.
I'm going with it. This is me not being surprised, Michelle.
Har har. Okay, here goes. He stepped off the okay. He stepped off of the stifling hot elevator that was laden with the thoughts and worries of every man suited and ready to work the mundane 9-to-5 job. Each soul worn down by the work that never filled a man's spirit, only the pocket. He felt the soft vibration under the soles of his designer shoes, each sound leading him closer to his future, his path to a nice bank account. Yet, when he crested the door of the office, it was then he realized the brevity of life was too short for a monkey suit, so he ran the opposite direction and decided to become a folk life singer.
That wasn't just Purple Prose. That was just like a different story.
I went with it, man.
I didn't realize that the challenge was that. Okay. No, I'll take it. All right. No, it's a great example. It's a great example.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I thought it was great, Purple Prose.
There's got to be an award for this. It's got to be like a Raspberry Award for novels or something like that. That's pretty awesome. Miss Marian Avalon, what do you got for us?
Okay. He listened to the monotonous music playing in the elevator as it reached its destination. The doors opened with a chiming sound, and with a long, purposeful stride, he stepped out of the elevator and began marching down the hall, knowing better than his own name that his future lay just ahead.
I don't know what it is about Marian's accent, but it just makes anything sound awesome. So
I know.
I don't know. I liked it. That's pretty sweet. Well, thank you for that. Miss Sarah Benson, what do you got?
All right, you'll hate mine, Nat. It's gonna be good.
Why are you gonna read something like from one of my stories or something? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, what does that sound so familiar?
Just kidding. All right. The tall, lean man with golden eyes with flecks of gray and green and blue stepped off the average-sized elevator that had just come up the shaft, knowing that the dreams and the hopes of the future was down the long, dark hall.
Ooh, that was good. I like.
My best writing yet.
And then he met up with Michelle's character, and they started, oh man.
And then they became folk singers together.
You know what I thought of when I wrote that? I thought, because Danny and I, our favorite movie is Forrest Gump. Another line. She became a folk live singer. Well, that's what I thought of. I was laughing when I wrote it.
So he's sitting on a stage naked with a guitar, right? That's awesome. Miss Lizzie Lippincott.
Okay, well, I actually had an issue with this because I've actually been accused of the opposite of not being descriptive enough. So I tried. Okay, so he stepped off the rickety elevator and onto the plush, expensive carpet, his feet sinking into it under his weight, knowing just down the hall his future rested behind one of the large wooden doors.
That was good.
It was descriptive. I wouldn't say that it's flowery.
No, it's really not. I'm like I said,
So somebody actually said, "Hey, you don't use description well enough."
Yeah.
What was the circumstance?
It was actually one of the first chapters, and it was actually Jessica B. Fry who's going to be on it a couple of weeks. Yep.
Oh man.
She was helping me with my first chapter, and she was just like, "You don't have enough emotion in all of this." Yeah, she's awesome about it. But she was just like, "You don't have enough emotion in all of this in here, like." Your character seems kind of like a robot and all that, and I'm like, oh dang.
I'm waiting for a cat fight to break out on the corner just to see what happens. I'll just be like,
down, Jessica.
Everybody place their bets, please.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
New cat fight.
I mean, I got that too once. I had not enough sensory detail, but when I asked, what exactly do you mean? Do you have an example? They didn't give me one, so that's not exactly it.
Yeah, see, it's so easy to point out stuff, but then it's just like, well, can you give me a little bit more than that? It's kind of like when you say, oh man, this food tastes bad. Well, what tastes bad about it? Is it too salty? Is it too sweet? Like what's exactly wrong?
It just tastes bad.
I know. Don't you know? You should be psychic. It's somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. So let's go over to question number 2. Have you ever been accused of using Purple Prose? If so, how did you handle it? What corrections did you make, and how did you go about making them? If not, how would you guide someone out of the overly flowery woods? And let's kind of coast in that same order. Michelle.
You sure?
Yeah, do you have a novel for this one too? I mean, are you going to see my not surprised face again?
Oh, okay. For me, yes, I have. I am a flowery writer, but have toned it down a bit as I have become more seasoned in my writing. I think adjectives are one of my BFFs. They bring a certain beauty to a sentence. When I write, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to sit down and write what is in my head, what's in my heart. If it appears too flowery when I'm done, then it's off to the editing world that I'll go. I'll just chop it down, revise the sentence into something lovely without being too sweet. So that's what I would suggest. Purple prose doesn't have to be an enemy, in my opinion, but just don't overindulge with it.
Moderation, right? It seems like
Yes.
kind of the basic guidance to a lot of stuff. Marin Avalon, what do you got?
So, contrary to Michelle, I actually never have been, well, not in those terms anyway, been accused of purple prose. But if I was, I'd probably have had to Google it, because I have to admit that until I found out the topic for this broadcast, I didn't know what the first thing about it. But if I was told I was doing purple prose, I would probably do what I do if someone, if I saw someone else doing it. Was like focus on and
She's skipping a little bit.
try and
Is that
point
just
out
me?
where I think need more description, where need less, and try and help them clear it up a bit.
Okay, sorry, Marion, you skipped a little bit. I'm hoping that what you can do is I know that you have notes, but it's just in case you do skip on another question, experiencing it right now. We'll keep moving along. It shouldn't flutter here or there. We'll see what happens. Miss Sarah Benson.
So no, I've not ever been accused of having purple prose. It's a fairly new term for me too. I kind of had to look it up. But
man, people must be just really mean to me. Like I don't know. Everybody's really nice to you guys.
Well, I get more so adverbs. But you know what? When you're writing action, a good adverb goes a long way. So I always argue them back. But anyway, I think that when you have purple prose, because it's not like just because I haven't been accused, I haven't done it, because I know I have. I think it indicates you're maybe trying just a little too hard, and it's also a sign that you're still developing it as a writer, kind of like Michelle said. And that, I think rather than, I don't know, I'm not really like a blunt person, like, you have this issue. I get people who say that kind of stuff to me, but at times. But I think it's better. It's like, how do you know you have the right answer, or your way is the best? So I've been given advice before that was like, it wasn't even correct advice, and yet it's there in my book, them saying, you don't know what you're talking about. And I've looked it up, and I'm all like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. But anyway, I think that purple prose is one of those like gray areas. So I wouldn't attempt to guide someone who didn't want to be guided in the first place. And I know that for a lot of people, eventually their style is going to develop, and a lot of that purple prose will naturally fall away. But if someone did ask for my help and sincerely wanted it, I think I'd approach it gently and encourage them to read their writing out loud and pay attention to repetition and dramatic words and unnecessary detail. Stephen King, in his book, gives some really great advice on writing, his book on writing. He said, describe just enough so they can picture it, but not so much that they can't interpret the scene in their own way. And that really helped me when I was writing my description to know I didn't have to nail every detail out, but just give them enough that then they could picture it in their mind, and then they could add additional details to the scene. And I think over time, you just grow in confidence and realize you don't need all the extra stuff in your writing. So that's my answer.
Oh, that's great. What would it be like superfluous writing? I like that the whole the concept of just giving them a basic construct and then letting their imagination fill in the blanks. That's really
Hmm.
that's a cool idea. Oh, okay. We'll skip back over to Miss Lindsay Lippincott.
All right. So as I already said, I've never really been accused of using purple prose, and like Sarah, it was also a fairly new term. Um, so I mean, I may have used it possibly, but like I said, my main problem was not using enough description and all that kind of stuff. Um, so I feel like when you're starting out as a writer, I feel like you're either too flowery maybe, or so you're either like the field of flowers, you're the dirt. I'm usually the dirt. I'm very plain.
That is such an interesting way to look at it.
So I feel like you need to try and find the perfect balance. You want to be the stems that are coming up out of the dirt. You don't want to be the dirt.
Somebody Twitter that.
So I guess I don't really have a way or any good advice to give since I'm still trying to find my way as well. But I mean, if you find someone who's using purple prose, maybe you can try and give a detailed description of like what they're doing, actually giving them,
Your
you know.
advice flows like purple prose.
So yeah, that's what I have. Don't be dirt.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. It's kind of like the advice that I first got when I started writing. It was just like, don't suck. All right, thanks. It's just great. All right, so I kind of threw the panel a curveball this week, and I gave them 3 questions as opposed to 2, or at least 3 that they know about. I usually throw in, surprises here and there. We'll see how that goes. Forget about any reservations you have with this episode's subject, and try to elaborate on this argument. Purple prose is a necessary evil because. Miss Michelle Hayes.
Without it, the protagonist wouldn't eat the luscious beignet that has sweet, fine powdered sugar drifting from its soft dough form. She would just eat the beignet.
Michelle, I'm gonna beat you up because now I want a beignet. So bad. I want to drive down to New Orleans and get a real beignet. Great. Miss Marion Avalon.
Well, I'm not, as I said before, I'm no expert on purple prose, but I'm just checking. Is that the one, the necessary evil one, isn't it? Right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Yeah. I'd say it's necessary in some instances because when we notice that we've done it, it helps us look at our work in a different way and sometimes make it better. I'd also say it's a way of caring for your work because when you want to describe every detail, it really means you want to pull in the reader, you want them to be interested. So I think it's as Michelle said, it doesn't always have to be the enemy. You just have to use it with moderation.
Of course, absolutely. Did we lose Michelle, or is that just me?
She's gone.
Okay. Bye, Felicia. Sarah, what do you got?
All right. So purple prose is a necessary evil because black prose is just plain boring. Just kidding.
Right.
And slightly racist.
I was like, what? Purple prose, black prose, orange prose? I don't know. We should have meanings for all. Just give them all different colors or something. Well, okay. So here's my real answer. It's because there's no clear definition of what purple prose is, in the first place. And what may be overly flowery or descriptive to one might be beautiful to another, as Michelle demonstrated. So, you compare like writers like Hemingway or Ella Montgomery, and they have completely different writing styles. One's very stark and brief, and one's very. I don't think Ella Montgomery's flowery, but some people may think she is. But I think she's very, very descriptive, and I really love her descriptions. It fits me. And so where one style appears to a certain type of writer and reader, another won't. And so that's why I think there's definitely a place in literature for purple prose because we all have our own styles. And by having our own styles, it adds to the richness of literature as a whole.
Wow.
Yay.
Exceptionally well said. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay, you're going to have to follow that, and don't say, oh, don't be dirt.
All right, well, now I need to change my answer.
I knew you were going to try to use it. I knew you were going to try to use it.
Funny.
Three questions this week. I'm only going to give you 2 real answers.
Okay, so it's a necessary evil because, and you can rebuttal me or tell me I'm wrong if you want to, but pretty much I feel like the romance genre thrives on purple prose. So without it, you wouldn't have those flowery romance novels then. I mean, if you like to sit down with one of those at night with a hot chocolate in one hand or whatever, I don't know.
I don't want to know what you're doing with your other hand.
Yeah, the beignet in the other. So I guess it would also be necessary to help with the show don't tell. You just need to find the show without blasting the picture at the reader.
And I think, well, depending on the circumstance, I mean, some parts of, like, some scenes in books, some parts of chapters, or even entire sections, they almost cater to, I don't want to say overly descriptive language, but it always helps when, you know, you have, like what Sarah was saying with, like, fight scenes, the things with action and stuff like that, it helps to make it so that you can understand, especially if a fight is happening really fast or if there's a huge momentum shift, that you are constantly on top of it so people can feel the rhythm. Because there's definitely a rhythm with it. And for scenes, if you want people to feel that emotion that everybody always talks about, like, put more emotion into your writing, I think the only way to do that is by giving your characters these things to play with. I mean, that's essentially what you're doing as a writer. You want to make sure that they have everything at their disposal in their toolbox, and your characters can't live without your words. So are you going to, you know, keep it brief and straight to the point? And I think you'd probably anger more readers that way than others. I'm not sure.
I think you would definitely get criticized for sure.
Yeah.
Because some writers that I've come across, not only on Wattpad but at the library or what have you, they just have the uncanny ability to bring a scene to life using purple prose. As a reader, I want to be within that book. I want reality to be gone. I want to be in that book. And purple prose is not an enemy. When you use purple prose, it can be done in a beautiful way, just not overkill.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, someone might consider purple prose, some other person might say, wow, this is just poetic. I mean, the way that it flows, dialogue, and their actions, and everything that goes into it, because it's the whole suspension of disbelief concept, where, especially if you're doing something in fantasy, or even if you're just trying to convey an emotion that's not largely held, you want to make sure that people can feel what your characters are feeling, or what you're feeling if you're writing a story that's all about you, or like an autobiography of sorts. But I know that with, I want to say, a lot of short story, it sounds weird when I say short storytellers, because it makes it sound like they're small storytellers. I don't know. But anyways, like people who write short stories, those people, they usually try to hit their mark and make sure that they do it with their own unique spin. But the best short stories that I've ever read are the ones that just for that small moment of time, they completely inundate you with just, not just emotion, but just that sense of connection. And for me, at least, as a reader, I like to be completely immersed in writing, or like whatever I'm reading, I like to be immersed into it. And I think that sometimes the only way to do that is by purple prose, or what some people might say. But as you can tell from this broadcast in particular, there are definitely different variations, and people have different tastes for it. So kind of think of as like people that like spicy food and people that just cannot take any sort of spice whatsoever. I mean, there's always two sides of the spectrum, and I don't know, I'm kind of obsessed with food, so that's just my take on things. We are at 7:07, and that brings us over to the portion of the salt. It is a factoid or an opinion or a general observation and 140 characters or less about the writing process. We are going to start with Miss Michelle Hayes. What do you got for us this week?
Okay. Words are powerful. Be wise with the ones you put to paper.
I like that. Great job. Miss Marian Avalon.
Don't write what you're told you should. Write what you feel should be told.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's how you do it. Lindsay, what do you got for us?
All right. I have proudly make mistakes. It's the only way you learn to do it right.
I'm still going to go with don't be dirt. That's my episode 22 highlight reel right there. Don't be dirt, guys. I'm totally going to use that tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to use it tomorrow, but I'm totally going to say it to somebody I work with. I don't know.
Go be
Sarah,
dirt.
what do you got? Yeah.
I thought a great salt would be go be dirt. Actually, the one I was thinking is actually a quote I like, and this is actually Hemingway. We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master.
Ooh,
I like that.
I love that.
No, isn't it so good? I love that one because you're always growing then. You know, to be able to choose a profession where you'll never reach the final state. It's an exciting thing.
Yes, it is. I went to his house in
It's
Florida.
kind of depressing, too, at the same time. Oh, yeah, you're never going to be awesome
I
at
made
this.
it.
Sorry, but keep trying. Keep trying. All right, so we're kind of going over to this tail end of the broadcast, but we have a lot to cover because we want to tell you exactly what's going on with the future of the Corner Booth. We have just, it's crazy that we're completing episode 22, and I found out that Ricky Pine is the same age as the number of episodes. So welcome to the 22. I don't know what you do. Make a lot of mistakes. I think that's what Camille Funk says. So whatever. So anyways, we are going to do 25 episodes, which will complete season 1, and then we are going to take a 2-week break. We will come back, I believe it is the last Sunday of September, and that will be season 2. And we're really excited to finish out this season and then bring you something that is in the same kind of wheelhouse as this, but hopefully we have some more toys and it's a little bit of a fancier broadcast. We'll see how that goes. Like, there's still a lot of things in the works, and we hope that you're really excited about it. And thank you so much for being a part of this project. This doesn't run without you, and we hope that you're taking away a lot of good advice, a lot of good experiences, and that it is affecting your writing in the most wonderful way possible. That being said, if you want to continue with your writing journey, the best way to do it is once you get your story up on Wattpad to do this thing called the Waddies. And it's kind of what these last 5 episodes are all about. It's preparation for it. There is a story, I believe, that is on the Wattpad profile. And it is it's all about the Just Write It challenge, which is writing 10,000 words in 30 days. It is the little brother of NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month, which is held every single November, and that's to write 50,000 words in 30 days, which is the standard length of a novel. But that being said, they have every single day for 30 days, they put out a video. And one of the videos was all about Purple Prose, and it was fantastic. I mean, every single day they had a power hitter Wattpadder that came in and gave their piece about whatever. I don't know if they were assigned, but it was just different facets of the writing process. And the one on Purple Prose, it was very true to form, and it also kind of coincided with what we were doing here tonight. The fact that the details, they're important, but you got to use moderation in certain places, but you also have to realize that audience taste is going to be different. You just kind of have to find a happy medium somewhere. And I know that it sounds like that answer isn't really truly an answer. I understand that. But at the same time, it's kind of, if you think about it, they're kind of
Lindsay?
Yes.
I think we're losing that.
No.
He looks,
Yeah,
look at him,
he
he's smiling.
Old singer. And
He's back.
oh, sorry. How long did I
You
cut out?
froze.
Few seconds.
Yeah, a few seconds.
Okay. So, anyways, sorry about that, guys. Anyways, if you think about it more of it as like a but like not everybody's going to like the same singer. Not everybody's going to like the same song. It's the same thing with your stories on Wattpad. So you got to kind of take it in stride at places. But as we finish these last we hope that it kind of pushes you to have the confidence to enter this amazing contest that we have a Wadio Award winner on our panel right now. And Marion, I know this is kind of just spur of the moment kind of deal, but if there was a way that you could describe your Waddy's experience, how would you do it? I mean, I know that it's an incredible honor, and there's a lot of involved. There's a lot of pinch me, I don't really believe it that's involved after you win. But as far as entering it, how did you really go about saying, all right, I am ready to do this with this story because fill in the blank?
Good question. I guess, to be honest, actually, I hadn't thought about um, doing I hadn't heard of the watches until they started when that last year, and I'd only sort of just started the book that wrote it, that won it, which was No Way in Heaven or How. And then I thought, well, that would actually help. If I won that, that would sort of prove it's a good book. And I really wanted to write that story because it's really so dear to me. And so I sort of mixed that with the Just Right challenge because that appeared more or less at the same time. So I fixed the amount of words I needed to reach the goal. And that was about, I think it was 11, a bit under 1,200 words a day, which can be a lot, especially I was working at the time. But I just kept on writing and thinking, but barely even thinking of the watches really. I was just thinking I want to finish the story, and I actually then I put it up and finished it just about in the nick of time really, and then I just waited for the result. And every day they put several winners, but not all of them. And every day I was looking, and there was no result. I mean, and I was thinking it doesn't matter because people read it, people saw it, it's out there. So I was thinking if I don't win, I'll just try again. And then I saw on the last day, I got this message from a Wattpad member, from the Liner, I think, something like that. And she told me it said that my story had won the Undiscovered Gem. So I was just, oh my goodness, how's that happening? But yeah, and since then it's been really it really helped me think I can do this, and convinced myself that I can write properly.
All right.
So
That's a good. I mean, that's a good feeling, you know, that validation.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Absolutely. And I want to tell into this broadcast. Well, first of all, thanks for tuning in. We love to have live viewers. You guys make it a really fun broadcast. I was trying to kind of scroll through some of these comments that you guys are on YouTube. I have no idea. Like, I just scrolled past one really fast, a Daredevil, and I don't know even how you guys got there. I'll have to look at it later. I don't. You guys are crazy. Like, the tangents that are on that chat are insane, but it's awesome. we hope that you guys are entering. Please tell us, let us know who is entering what. If you're still on the fence, hopefully you can find some encouragement to do it. If you're still, in Marian's case, where she was rushing to meet the deadline, you got plenty of accountability buddies that are surrounding you right now. So hopefully you not only find the encouragement, but the kind of the reminder of, hey, you gonna enter the Waddies? I heard you were gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. And that at times, yes, it can get a little annoying, but it's the friendships that you make here. It's like I said, it's an accountability thing to the point where you are being pushed by somebody because they believe in you. And we believe in you. Definitely, and we hope that you take that jump, that leap of faith, because it does pay off, as you can tell with Marianne's experience right there. We are, I think, what is it? It's either, is it the last week of August? I think we were talking about this earlier, where it's all about sharing your story, and you have to collect, it's on Twitter. You have to use a hashtag, and then you get, a Talk of the Town Waddy. Is that what it was?
I know that there's the user choice or whatever, and it's my Waddy's choice tag, I think. I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about. But it's my Waddy's.
It's kind of like a people's choice thing.
Yeah,
you get a Waddy award.
I believe you do the hashtag of my Waddy's choice, and then you use the title for whatever book you're wanting to nominate for that or whatever.
Sweet, yeah.
Absolutely.
So let us know if you are participating in that, because we'd love to support you. Use our hashtag and let us know, who you are on Wattpad. Send us monikers, things like that, your story titles, so we can find it. And like I said, people that watch the Corner Booth, they are active on Wattpad, and they will 9 times out of 10 give you a read, at least the first couple chapters, definitely.
I also have something else for the Waddies and the Just Write It. This month, the Just Write It is actually Waddies centered around the Waddies. So if you tag your story with Just Write It and Waddies 2015, they have a special award for the the Just Write It challenge, and they're actually giving you until that was for the month of August, but they're giving you until I believe the end of September to do the 10,000 words, and there will be a special winner or a special award just for the Just Write It challenge.
Sweet. So yeah, get on it, people. We talked about writing sprints the last episode, and they really help to get to that 10,000 word marker, because even though it's not 50, 10,000 words is still a lot in 30 days, especially if you're, picking and choosing them wisely. So
I've got a question on that real quick, Lindsay. Is that 10,000 words mean completed story, or could it be a story in progress?
It can be a story in progress. It's just you write 10,000 words as long as you tag it. You don't have to stop after the end of. You don't have to stop at the end of the 10,000 words. It does not have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a short story. It doesn't have to start and end with those 10,000 words. It's just the 10,000 words.
Right, but the other Waddies, don't you have to stop after the August 31st or whatever deadline, the end of August deadline? You can't add to it, right? I've heard
I'm
that.
I'm not 100% sure.
Last year you couldn't, but I think this year.
I think this year they're letting people keep writing. It's changed a bit.
Because I know serialized writing is it's the heartbeat of Wattpad.
Yeah. So, because I know that what it said when I was looking at the Just Write It challenge, it said that they were giving you until the end of September to complete that, and you're tagging it with the Waddies 2015. So they have to let you keep writing in September.
That's true. Or maybe it's because they're doing a tandem tag, so if you have both of them, then that's the condition. You can keep writing because you have both of them there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll ask these questions to our friends at Wattpad headquarters. Yeah, we might not know the answer, but we'll get you one. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, thank you so much, Wattpad Nation, for being a part of this. You make it run. You give us a lot of entertaining stuff to read, especially on this live chat. This is awesome. It just makes me laugh every time. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast. Marian Avalon, thank you for sitting with us at the Corner Booth. We had such a great time with you. And also, I think that we definitely got Jessica B. Fry coming in. She's at the end of the month. I just saw that I got a message from a little writer called Jay Victor on Wattpad. I saw that on the inbox at Wattpad, so we're gonna try to get her on because she's amazing. And I think that, what was it, Carl or Connor? I think he said something on today's live chat about the fact that there's not a lot of low registered voices on the panel. He loves the ladies, but there's not a lot of Hey, you know what? Hey, Carl, send me over some guys, dude. Like, come on, let's do this. Let's bring some more writer dudes on there. I don't know why we don't have as many dudes that are available for this. I don't know. Why is that? Why is that? That's a good question. What?
They're intimidated by
lucky
you, Matt.
being with all these women.
Oh, come on! I'm 5'6" and Asian. There's nothing to be intimidating about. Like, seriously.
All right,
come on.
all right, Nat. How's this? I publicly challenge Ricky Pine to get on the corner booth. How about that?
Oh, yeah. I love that, Ricky Pine on. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So if you're watching this broadcast right now and you're a dude, inbox me and say, hey, I want to do a corner booth episode. And we'll throw it down like old school gangster style, and we'll listen to Eminem and Michelle will start dancing. It'll be awesome. We'll have a great time. But thank you so much, Wattpad Nation, for being a part of this once again. We're going to run about 7 minutes early. My connection's doing weird stuff right now, so it's kind of good that we're at the tail end of the broadcast. But thank you so much again. And if panel, you would say goodnight to everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Fare thee well.
Hail and feather.